Welcome back. Today we're going to be making a new database, which is what we will be using for our backend and where we'll be storing our user data, like their email, password, all that stuff. There are multiple ways to create a database. We will be covering both standard and optional. So first things first, let's get into our database. PSQL, Postgres. Postgres is the name of our database. And if we do \L to see our databases, as you can see, we have Postgres template 0 and template 1. First, let's remove Postgres database. Since we won't be using it, we're going to be creating a new database called project, and that's what we're going to use. So to delete the database, we just do drop database Postgres and then semicolon. As you could see, you cannot remove a database you're within. So thankfully, we do have two other databases, template 0 and template 1, that you actually cannot delete. We will be logging into template 1 in order to remove Postgres. So to exit, we do \Q, and then we'll do PSQL template 1. As you can see, now we're within template 1. Now we can do drop database Postgres, semicolon. And we dropped it. So if we do \L, Postgres is now gone. Now let's understand how PostgreSQL creates databases and what these templates represent. So template 1 is your modified database template. Currently, we haven't modified it, so it just creates the same thing template 0 would. However, eventually you might want to create certain restrictions and conditions for when creating a database. So you can say every database made must have 2 IDs. That would change template 1. Template 0, however, is unmodified and will stay unmodified. So if you ever want to just create a normal database, you could use template 0. Or if you want to use your modified customized database, you use template 1. Now, like I mentioned, there are 2 ways to create a database, standard and optional. The standard way is just create database and then the name of your database. In our case, it's project, semicolon, and as you can see, it creates it right away. This command has many predetermined defaults to certain parameters, which we will cover in the optional method. Now, if you do \L again, you will see now project is there. Same as Postgres, just different name, I guess. Now, the optional method is to fill out the optional parameters. The command is the same, start, so create database with project, obviously that's the name, but additional info can be added. For example, we can do with, so as you can see, I didn't put a semicolon, or is that a colon? That's why I was able to press enter and just type in on the new line. So you could do that in SQL. As soon as you put colon, Postgres will know, oh, it's the end of the line now, run this command. But so far it won't run it until I put that colon. And so I press enter again. So I did create database project with, and now you could do one optional parameter is owner. So this determines who's the owner. By default, it's the one who creates it, but you can set another user as the owner. So here I would do admin, since that's the owner I want. Now, what is the other one? You can also specify template. Template equals, so remember how I said template 1 is by default? You could also use template 0 if your template 1 is tampered with or customized. There's also a connection limit equals, so again, this is how many connections you want to the database. -1 represents unlimited. And there are a couple other options that I don't think you'll need, so we'll stop here. Now, obviously, I already created the project database, so I'm not going to put any of these in. And so we'll just, see if I put semicolon, it will be like project already. As soon as I put semicolon, press enter, it will tell me, oh, it already exists. So now to clear, all you got to do is / and clear. So we clean our environment. Now that we created the database, let's give the user we created last video permissions to access this database and alter it. So you see if I do /l, access privilege none. The admin doesn't have. So the command for that is grant all privileges on database project to admin. And see now it says grant. Now if I see, you see right here, this has altered and now there's an access privilege right here. And as you can see here, it says admin. So by default, obviously, RHXRR is the super user, which kind of owns everything and controls everything. So it will always show it as the access privilege. And admin is the one that we just added and we gave it all privilege. So again, this command gives it all privileges on the project database to the user admin. However, this is a database level permission, meaning the user can connect to this database, can create new tables and schemas and other objects within this database, the project one. It does not grant permission on existing tables, views, sequences within the project database. Now, these require a separate grant command. So if there's already tables, if you want to give access to admin to the existing tables, you'll do a separate grant command. But since it's a fresh, empty database we just created, using this is all you will need to give admin permission to do everything he needs and read all the tables, but there's obviously no tables. But again, remember, if there's existing tables, it won't have access to existing tables. It only has access to new tables and tables it will make in the future. So right now, if I make a table using admin, admin will have access to it. But if there's a table from before, admin won't have access to it. And so that's about it. This sums up our database lectures. This is mostly what you'll need. Once we get to the backend, which is after this section, we will be coming back to the databases to touch up a little bit. That will be more about tables, IDs, foreign keys, stuff like that. But for now, this is all the stuff you will be doing directly from the database terminal. All the other stuff we're going to be writing using Python. So we're going to be using Python to write queries, like SQL queries, to register data, create tables, and stuff like that. And so that sums up today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.